Pisces, welcome to your general overview. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. Before we get started, I wanted to point out to you today your house t-shirt. Finally, I got all the samples in and I can showcase them to you. This one in particular is Game of Thrones inspired. And I have so many more variations for all the zodiacs and just some really cool stuff. And I just wanted to show this one to you. This one's yours. It says, House Pisces, I sense what others do not speak. Isn't that the truth of it? I think I got yours. I think I nailed it. And I hope you like it. And again, there's more than this in there. Just check it out. If you don't actually see this shirt or any shirts under this video, which it should be, but it kind of depends on your device, don't worry about it. The link will be pinned at the top of the comments. I got you. And in the general sense, your donations as well as your merch purchases support me. They support this channel and it helps me keep ads low on YouTube. So again, I appreciate you. All right, let's get into it. We're going to start with the Oracle card from the Unshakable Inner Peace. Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle. It's very lovely. What's going on, please? I will point out the general overview is meant to be you. All about you. Okay? What's going on inside of you? What's going on possibly outside of you? The focus is not meant to be on someone else. Okay? But it does happen. And if it does, I'll make note of it. Otherwise, it's really meant to be about you and what's going on with you. Okay? What's going on, please? Show me the Piscean Collective. Show me what's going on, please, for Pisces. Oh, hello. Number 28. Don't run from the darkness. Embrace your shadow side. What aspect of yourself have you been afraid to look at or address? Some of you are doing shadow work right now. Getting in there, trying to address your fears. That which lingers in your heart and in your mind. And you don't need to. You're one of the signs that's better equipped to handle this kind of energy. And just because you can doesn't mean you always do. But for some of you, it's time to kind of dive into that energy, that moon energy, which is you. And embrace your shadow side. Understanding not just the light, right, of you, but also the darkness that is inherent in you. We all do. You cannot have one without the other. That's the great balance of nature. If you have light, and of course you do, then you will have darkness. And the more you can understand your darkness, the stronger your light is, you know? Let's take a look. What's going on for you, honey? That's some deep work. For some of you, by the way, the 28th will be terribly important. Of what month? I do not know. Show me. What's going on, please? For Pisces. What's going on, please? For the Piscean Collective. Show me Pisces. Show me Pisces. Show me Pisces, please. What is going on for Pisces? What's going on? Seven of Cups, eh? Six of Swords. Page of Cups. There is something in here in terms of your emotions. Okay, Seven of Cups. Options in love. Absolutely sure. A soft and fuzzy place that's not terribly defined. The whole point of having options in love is so we can actually give them some definition. What's this cup look like? What's this cup look like? We're talking about feelings. What does that feeling look like? What does this feeling look like? We're not going to know until we start exploring it. And some of you are like, I'm not exploring that. I'm not looking at that. No. No. Six of Swords. And some of you moved away from this concept of options in love. It's too confusing, it's too overwhelming, or possibly, simply put, perhaps none of them were terribly appealing to you. And yet, despite that, you do keep an open heart, no matter how small. Page of Cups. Okay. You left that behind, Six of Swords, in the recent past. However recent that is to you is up to you. But there's an idea here is that there was options in love. Six of Swords, and you're like, I regret to say I am departing from those options. We'll see why. But you're also like Page of Cups. My heart might be small, but it still remains. It's still trying to be open. Just possibly not to those. We'll see. Five of Wands, frustration. Eight of Wands, communication. Queen of Swords. Somebody is trying to speak towards their energy. Could be you. Could be someone around you. I don't know about that Queen of Swords. Could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or that could be you. Showing someone here is showing determination to speak, even if it's frustrating. And we're kind of going back and forth in that. It feels like somebody's internal struggle process here. 5 of Wands, that's chafing. That's some chafing, that's some frustration regarding communication, the determination to either push forward, okay, and insist upon our point, insist upon our message, insist upon our thought, despite how frustrating it is, or how do we approach that at all? We don't want to start, we want to communicate, but we don't want to piss the other person off. There is this idea of anticipation, that communication. It's either frustrating to get it out, to generate the conversation, or even if we do, it could cause friction. But somebody's like, I have something on my mind. Let's see. Interesting. The Empress, King of Pentacles, that's some beautiful energy. 2 of Swords, we don't know. I have some very important energy here, the Empress and the King of Pentacles. This is not insubstantial. They're actually quite beautiful. They make a lovely pair. Heavy Taurus energy here. Does not have to be. A dash of Libra as well. But the Empress, King of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords. There's this idea here is that whoever this is to you. It could be terribly prosperous. Very prosperous. Beautiful, balanced, resourceful, loving, stable, productive. Those two together make an excellent team, right? Both resourceful, both responsible, both have a strong sense of I'm responsible, productivity, wealth, stability, resourcefulness. However, you two are still kind of tied up into a question mark. 2 of Swords. I don't know. I don't know. Neither do you. What's going to happen between these two people? I'm terribly curious about your opening here. That's interesting. That's interesting. You're telling me you're moving away from options in love. Okay. Show me the 7 of Cups, please. Something that was confusing. Wouldn't come together. We weren't in a space to explore those cups. Or frankly, you just didn't find any of them terribly appealing. That could be it as well. Show me the 7 of Cups, please, for Pisces. Show me that 7 of Cups, please, for Pisces. Show that 7 of Cups, please, for Pisces. The Star, deep desire, the Moon, 10 of Cups. You're showing up here too. If you're connecting with a fellow Pisces, you need to figure out who's who. I am seeing some energy outside of you. I'm really going to try to keep the focus on you. I don't want it to be a full-on love reading like it was with Scorpios, and even I'm like, did you not understand the assignment, Scorpio? But there you go. They presented to me what they presented to me. So there was I'm not tying it to anyone specifically. Not yet. It's looking like you have this fantasy. 7 of Cups is that soft, fuzzy fantasy. And to really kind of pull love energy towards us, we have to be willing to look at those cups. So it's exploratory. That's why it's fuzzy. It can also lead into the realm of fantasy. If we don't explore those cups, we're always just going to wonder what those particular cups were like. And some of you were like, I don't actually want to explore those cups. To the realm of fantasy, they must remain. Sometimes you ponder about particular love choices or love interests. It's like there was a pull in there, possibly. It's kind of like playing ring toss here, emotionally, with that 7 of Cups. Possibly, if I throw my ring in there, I might find a desire. I might find my star. But I'm not really willing to find out with the Moon. It's like my ultimate happiness could be in there. It could be. Emotional harmony, emotional rainbow, fulfillment, deep desires with the star. It could be. But to the realm of fantasy, it must remain. I'm not willing to find out, you said. And you have your reasons, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to see why. And then the fact that you moved on from this. It's like you knew if you explored those cups, there could be something deep in there. Beautiful, rewarding, very harmonious, deeply desirable too. But you weren't willing to find out. It's like I'd rather just leave Pandora's box alone, thank you. There's a good chance something in there could hook me, and I don't think I can be hooked right now. It's interesting, very interesting. Show me that 6 of Swords, please. It's like you were aware of Pandora's box. You looked at it, you walked around it, but you're like, I'm not opening that. It could be beautiful, it could be amazing, but I'm not trying to get hooked on it. I'm not trying to really explore it. It stayed in this fuzzy realm of fantasy. Perhaps the best is in there, but I don't know. I'm not willing to find out right now. I want to see why. Let's see why. Show me that Six of Swords, please. Show me that Six of Swords. And then, you know, like always, of course, I'm sure I forgot to say, take what resonates, leave what does not, and if there is another energy here, in reverse energies, as it applies. Easy peasy. People can get up in arms with you, honey. They really can. It's quite exhausting. The Hermit, 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. Your heart wasn't there. It wasn't in a space. This is why you moved on from this. It's kind of like the ultimate love might be in there, Christina. But I'm going to leave it there as a hypothetical or as a fantasy. That's where it's best served right now. I myself am not in a position to give. I myself am not in a position to commit. I myself am not in a position to give more of myself. I'm still healing. I'm still working through stuff. For some of you, you experienced abandonment issues, quite possibly with the Virgo. It doesn't have to be, and that's not a knock on Virgo. It's just what's here. For some of you, you might have very strong Virgo in your chart, in which case you're showing me, I'm not ready. At least you were in the past. You moved on from these options with the admission that the best of the best of the best might be in there, but you couldn't find out. You'd rather kind of keep it back there as a possible fantasy as opposed to bringing it into reality, right? And it's very romantic. It's very you. It's very Piscean. Very Piscean. I perhaps may never know. But I must relinquish my heart. Very you. Very romantic. Very Pisces. This is why you drive people crazy sometimes, you know. There's such a huge part of you that only really you can access. I get it all the time. There's some collectives that just, the more internal they are, I swear to God, honey, the more internal a collective is, Virgo, Taurus, Pisces, Gemini, Scorpio, the more intense the cross-watcher is. Because there's so much internal collective energies. It's like I consult myself first. And honey, you have such deep feelings in you. And you don't necessarily feel pressed to explain them, nor should you, you know. Unless you have a stake with somebody. A contract with somebody. Otherwise, you don't need to explain yourself. And this was a very deep thing for you. But anyway, I'm sorry, back to the point. I do go on sometimes. I apologize. That's what I do. Excuse me. The Hermit. We are slowly but surely healing from some sort of breakage. What that breakage looks like, I don't know. It could be that you felt separate from yourself. It literally could have been another situation. But you're saying this is why I had to willfully move on from this, Christina? And I'd like to think the best of it was in there, but it's going to be a fantasy for me. I can't explore it. We broke from something. We broke from somebody. Or we feel just disjointed. Like we don't quite know where we're going. We just know that we can't explore that. Okay? There's something in us that's missing. There's something in us that's missing, honey. And we need to rebuild it. And that takes time. That's literally what this is. The Hermit is not exactly known for being rushed. 7 of Pentacles, time. 5 of Pentacles, time, plus pain. 6 of Swords. I'm still working on me. Trying to keep your heart open, though. Page of Cups. Even if it is small, that's fine. I'd be very concerned if I didn't see the water signs trying to keep their heart open, no matter what damage might be in there. Okay, it runs contrary to who we are. The Empress, Ace of Swords, Page of Wands. See, that's what I'm saying. You're doing your best to keep the best of you open. Okay, so you've already kind of ID'd me as that you're the Empress. Okay, someone of high worth, high value. Someone who treasures certain things such as unconditional love, as well as security. And someone who is very self-empowered. I believe that's what you aspire to be. I believe that's something that you want to get back into. Because right now, or at least in the past, you did not feel self-empowered at all. You have an idea of what that feels like, and you literally want to get back to it. It's your personal truth as you understand it. But you're also showing me pages surrounding important concepts. In other words, you're telling me I'm opening up to it, Christina. I'm trying to get back into my sense of self-worth, and that means discovering things, Ace of Swords, the hard way. And I'm looking at me, I'm looking at my actions, I'm looking at where I've come from, I'm looking at my heart space, and I want to keep the best of me open, but that also means I need to rebuild me too. And that means I'm also in this position of not choosing something. The best of the best of the best might be in there, honey. But you're also saying I can't explore the best of the best. I desire it, and hopefully one day I'll qualify for it, but for right now, I need to work on me. I'm still recovering, I'm still in pain. There was some sort of abandonment here. And it took a long time too. So much time is attached to it. It took a long time to separate from that. Or they took a long time to separate from you. Somebody's really strung it out. Really strung out that separation. It's like instead of putting something out of its misery, they just kept letting it go and go and go, and before they finally decided to break it. And you're doing your best to recover from it. You want to get back with you? I completely agree. Let's fast forward a little bit. How far back in the recent past this is, I could not say. Let's see that Five of Wands, the frustration, the aggravation. So I'm not entirely convinced that that Queen of Swords is you, but let's keep on keeping on. Show me that Five of Wands, please. Show me that Five of Wands, please. It's interesting to know how close you got to that, though. So close. So close. This intrigues me. This absolutely intrigues me. Right here, your process right here. That Piscean process, boom, right here on your opening. The romantic in you, the way your waters pull you, this, maybe that. Maybe the best of love is in here, but I'm not in a position to explore to take it. But I feel it. Oh, yes, you do. Your intuition's out. You felt it intuitively to get that so close to that which you desire. To sense it, to feel it, and to say, I'm not ready. It's a powerful thing, and I agree with your decision. I wouldn't want you to enter anything, no matter how desirable it was, if you're not ready. That's it, done. But the way you relinquish that is quite admirable. There's a longing in it, too. A sigh for not being able to explore it. So powerful. Those waters here run very deep for you. It was more than an option, wasn't it? It was actually quite feasible. But you're also saying, I don't know. I like to keep it in a kind of fantasy way. More to the point, you weren't in a position to know. That's what I'm getting from that. Show me that Five of Wands. 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 All right, who's kicking off? Five of Wands. Show me that Five of Wands, please. Show me that Five of Wands. The Chariot. Temperance. The Seven of Swords. Someone here has big feelings. They do. I got the Chariot, Cancer, Temperance, Sag. Seven of Swords. Someone's trying to get out of doing the hard work. Well, that don't fly, does it? That's where the aggravation's coming from. I don't know who this is. I have no clue. I have no fucking clue. Could be this person. Communication here might tell me a bit more about who they are. But there is a suggestion here that while there is big feelings that exists, it feels like this is coming from outside of you. Feels that way. I don't know. You would know best. It could be you. Someone who still has big feelings, but you haven't done all the repair work and you still experience frustration in the movement of your love for that very reason. Someone is experiencing frustration in the movement specifically of their love, but because they haven't done the work, the healing, it creates a friction. How come my love can't move forward? Why won't somebody accept this big chariot I'm driving? Because somebody here hasn't done the healing. They keep trying to opt out of it. I don't have healing to do. I don't have healing to do. I don't have to reconcile wounds. I don't have to reconcile pain. I don't have to reconcile joy. I don't have to do any of that shit. I don't have to do it. I don't have to. They actively try to get out of doing their work, their assignment. They're trying to cut corners in order to let their vehicle, their heart space proceed. And they come up against friction. 5 of Wands, no. Or arguing, no. And that's because someone here isn't doing their homework. That's what homework looks like, honey. Temperance is like homework. It takes work. It takes effort. It's lessons that take time to learn. Somebody keeps trying to take the shortcut out of them lessons, and then they justify it with a big heart. But I have such big feelings. Accept it. Which means they lose credibility. They might have a big heart and they might have a big rush of feelings, but they lose credibility the moment they say they refuse to learn, or that they refuse to heal, or that they have nothing to heal or apologize or whatever for. That's a straight up rejection of doing work, the hard work of the self, learning thy lessons in order to proceed. This person says they have nothing to learn, nothing to heal from, and nothing to apologize for. But take my chariot. Take it. Why aren't you taking it? Oh, because you ain't done shit. Someone here is cutting corners and they still expect their love vehicle to be accepted. Well, that don't fly. You or them? I don't know. There's that Queen of Swords again. And that King of Pentacles again. Huh. Show me this 8 of Wands. Let me see if I can clear this up. I need to see how it ties to your past. I see you gently rediscovering your Empress energy, empowerment specifically. And you're telling me that you're an active learner, Ace of Swords. That's beautiful. So that makes me feel like that's not you. This is someone who is actively rejecting their lessons. Anyone who says, I have nothing to learn, I'm not hurt, I have nothing to apologize for, they're automatically wrong. So I'm not trying to create a space of yours and theirs, but I can see you doing the work even though it hurts you. And I see you actively rejecting, I'm going to call it for what it is, potentially the love of your life. Because you don't quite know, so they're back there in that fantasy of maybe it is the best, I don't know. I see why you got work to do. You acknowledge it. Here you are acknowledging that you're slowly but surely getting back into a place of empowerment and grace with hard-earned truths with the Ace of Swords. Okay. This person is like, I have big feelings. Why do you keep rejecting it? I have nothing to learn or apologize for. Which automatically means it's false. Honey, life is your biggest lesson. You know, I remember one of my professors once when I was in college saying, the hardest language you will ever have to learn is your own, because you will never stop learning it, never mind all the other languages that potentially exist out there. You will always be your biggest project, and your project never stops. We make mistakes along the way. We do right things along the way. We do wrong things along the way. It's a combination of both. We often think I could never hurt somebody, but we do. We often think I would never allow myself to be hurt by someone else, but we do. It's both. So you're telling me you have a certain acceptance of things that you need to recover and learn from, and then I have someone out here straight up blasting this denial energy, and yet still has the impertinence to like, but I have big feelings and they're coming towards you. Take it. And it causes frustration. And it's because that frustration is born out of someone recognizing that they are, or rather not recognizing that they are at fault. They have caused problems too. They have work to do too. I have nothing to apologize for or get over. That's odd. 8 of Wands. Sorry. It's interesting. So your contrast is quite different compared to whoever that is. Show me. Yeah, they want to cut corners. They want to have the big feelings, but they want to cut corners as to how to get around to it. It's like, how do I get to the quickest results without having to do any work? And that never works out well, ever. At any history, at anywhere, at any time in the human race has that ever worked out. I want the best, and I want to do the least amount of work to get to it, and that means not admitting any faults along the way. It just don't work. Oh, honey, you done reinforced your position. Shit. Ooh, I don't feel like these two are connected. The one that it could be the love of my life is back here. I don't know. I'm not willing to find out because I can't emotionally invest. I'm still hurt. It doesn't feel like this. This is something else. I don't know who this is, but it's not this. This one you didn't get to I don't think they're connected. This feels like someone else who's trying to intrude in your 3D world, demanding love from you, but without recognizing fault or failure. This is someone it's like you never had the chance to really explore the deeper feelings with, but you knew that they could be. This person has a working background premise with you, where feelings and thoughts and actions were exchanged. This person you don't have that with, but you felt that you could. Very much so. It's interesting. So again, you need to tell, anyway, you figure it out. It's up to you, honey. It's your general overview. So here's the Eight of Wands. I see someone trying to communicate with you. It's looking like you defend your position. I have moved on. It took me a long time. Yeah, I know. I see time tied to you. I see time tied to you in whatever that situation that hurts you so much. But you are literally defending your position. No. I've moved on. So this person is trying to re-engage you. And it's sloppy and it's not thoughtful. I haven't learned anything and I don't think I need to. It's that kind of blunt energy. I have feelings for you and that's all that matters. Actually, what kind of feelings? Just because you have strong feelings doesn't mean you're right. Ignorance is bliss. You're more likely to believe in the strength of your own convictions if you're willing to be... You're willing to double down on your feelings and remain in that place of denial and defending those positions if you don't really look at you. And that's easy to say, I love you and that's all that matters. Actually, no. What matters is the willingness to heal yourself before you approach me. What matters is that you're willing to concede that you have faults here. What matters is that you're willing to apologize and then it creates a space for me to heal with you. Something like that. I don't know. The bluntness of their energy is such that just reinforces your decision. Their communication has not changed. It's still aggressive. It's still pushy. And it still says I can cut corners. All that matters are my feelings. That's not true. It's a common misconception with water signs. All that matters are my feelings. Oh no. That does not exempt us from being rational at all. It does not exempt us from being rational. And you're telling me I'm still sticking by this decision of having moved on. It's interesting. Terribly interesting. I know I want to speed it up, but I really want to dive into that. This versus this is fascinating. I could really spin these two separately for like an hour. Easily. No problem. I'd like to tease those energies out. Anyway, show me that Queen of Swords, please. Show me that Queen of Swords. Show me that Queen of Swords. There you are. You're showing me consistency on your downline. Here on the middle, you're reinforcing your decision. You're saying no thank you to whoever it is that cuts corners in love. Show me that Queen of Swords. Show me that Queen of Swords. Five of Wands. There it is. There's that oh, it's repeating. Five of Wands, Eight of Wands. This end. Man, they're just putting up a big old stink. Goodness me. They are just putting up a big old fight. They keep insisting on communicating with you that it would make them happy. Good for them. It would make them happy. Good for them. Again, it's like, this is what I feel. Look at what I feel, Pisces. And you're like, yeah, look at what you feel and look where it got me. Hurt. You cut corners. You say you have nothing to apologize for. You say that you had nothing to learn, that we just need to communicate and be happy. Life isn't like that. Life isn't like that. They're like, it's like their whole relationship with you is based on the premise of how you make them feel, which is lovely and flattering, but they're not concerning themselves with how they make you feel. Okay? Frustrated, disappointed, and just ready to move on. And their energy keeps saying, no, it's not. They still determined to come towards you, even if it means picking a fight or having an argument, because it would still, they still insist that you're part of their sun package. They're determined to see the connection with you in that way, and you don't feel that way at all. You have told me repeatedly, I have moved on, and this is for the person who caused you pain. This is the person whom you broke from, and it took them a long time to do it, or it took you a long time to break from them. And that you are slowly rebuilding your structure, your sense of self and safety, okay, your own sense of empowerment. And this is the person whom you associate with that long, drawn-out pain. And they're like, yeah, we fight, but who doesn't? Yeah, but the thing is that they never learn from the fight. You know, the whole point of fighting, which does serve a purpose, by the way, between two healthy people, I will point that out to you right now. Fighting is normal between two people. You fight with yourself. You can fight with someone else. You're damn right. Fighting for normal, happy, healthy people says, I have a conflict, you have a conflict, let's put our conflicts together, work shit out. Recognize we have faults, that we are sorry, we're exchanging sides, I'm learning shit, you're learning shit, now we're going to put our stuff together and then resume our sun. Cool, that's normal. Tension is normal, fighting is normal. But for somebody who is refusing to learn from the tension and the fighting, and they insist that they have no problems and that their big feelings are going to override every single problem that you ever had, love conquers all. It does, from somebody who's willing to learn. True love is someone who is willing to learn. True love is someone who is willing to admit mistakes. Someone who is able to say, this is where I screwed up and I'm sorry, I understand you better, maybe you understand me better, can we continue to live under the sun, please? They're like, I just want to live under the sun with you without actually understanding why we're arguing at all. It doesn't make sense. You know that, that's why you checked out from them. You're either ignoring them, you're going to be cool breeze, you're just going to keep on flowing by. I have to tell you, they pop up a couple of times. Same behavior patterns that you have become accustomed to with this person. It seems like this is currently going on. You might have slowly exited. They see that you are trying to reshape yourself, okay, in a way that's positive. And they're really not ready to let you go. They want to cut corners. They want all the good feelings without the work behind it. Got it? Got it. I just see you continuing to leave this person behind, but they do pop up a couple of times. It is disappointing. It's frustrating because they have the ability. Otherwise, they wouldn't be showing me this energy, but they failed to grasp the concept of healing, consideration. It's like love conquers all. Yeah. For someone who is healthy-minded, that's absolutely true. It can conquer all. Assuming that you understand what constitutes reciprocity, back and forth, and healing and perspective. Okay? Not just one's self-interest. It's like, I'm glad I make you feel these strong things, but it works both ways, babe. You don't make me feel those things. Right? You don't make me feel heard or understood, and when you love me, and when you don't, you don't. Right? And how does someone show you they don't love you? They cut corners. They refuse to learn. They refuse to see their mistakes, say they have nothing to work on, they have nothing to heal, but they still love you, so that's what matters, right? No. That's for water signs. We have to understand that. True love says all the stuff applies, not just the good. Some of the Empress, please, in the future. You've already showed me that you are working on your empowerment. I'm very curious about this energy. I wonder if it'll ever come back around. You seem to have parted ways with it without really having gotten into it because you couldn't. You didn't really have the chance to explore it. But when you look back on it, it's like you're thinking, the love of my life might have been in there. But I'm not in a position to explore it. God dang, the persistence of this person. They're like, here's love, here's sunshine, that's all you need. We don't need to argue. While they're arguing. It means they ain't learned nothing. Okay, and like I said, honey, I was wondering if they would ever show up again. That star, the person whom we deeply desire, and you admitted it could be the love of my life. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not in a position to find out. They're coming up again. Okay, the Fool. Whoa. Whoa. Oh no, it may not seem like it now from your point of view, honey. This person is still very much in your life, kicking around, and they don't want you to leave, but they also don't want to improve. They don't feel the need to improve. Somebody here doesn't. You are still, even if you are still tied to this person in the 3D, you are still slowly exiting it, and you have been, okay, for a while. You see that their behavior pattern stays the same. And there's a very strong sense of, well, we need to abide by my feelings because I have so much love and so much happiness for this. We should go by what I feel, not what you feel. Again, that's not a healthy love language, and that's not a healthy love relationship. It's more about how you make them feel, and again, not what you're experiencing, and that's not healthy. It will never be a healthy thing. There will come a time, though, despite this quagmire, and this person's having a hard time adjusting, and you yourself are having a hard time adjusting, getting back into yourself and who you are and what you're about. I promise you there will come a time when whatever this is that you left behind, the love of your life, if you will open up towards it when you are truly your Empress self. The one that you started working on, getting back into your sense of empowerment, more to the point, your sense of self-worth. This person does not personify what it is that you are worth. They represent someone who is best left behind. Okay? It's almost like they're telling you repeatedly, it's my feelings that count, not yours. So we kind of do what I want. And I have nothing to apologize for. I keep coming back to that, I know, but it irritates me so much. And that's the major source of the tension here. And it's grossly inappropriate. We all fight with our partners, but the point is that we're better for it, not worse. And this person's like, there is no worse. I'm actually pretty darn good. And I think we should do what I want and what I feel. And I'm not willing to let you leave, Pisces. And you're like, I'm big going. It hurts. And it's slow. But you've been going. When you will actually fully exit that person, I don't know. I'll try to do a time check. But I'm telling you, what looks like to be the impossible, it will become possible. Look at you opening up towards that desire. Even as I said, I wonder if they'll ever show up again for you. And that time you actually get to open up towards it and explore it, boom, there they are. Yeah. You may not be able to see it from where you are now. That makes perfect sense. But one day, yes. That King of Pentacles, please show me. That person's determination to fight with you to get things their way. Well, how I approach us is full of love and sunshine. I don't know about you, Pisces, but we should do what I want. But, you know. I'm not trying to learn every time we have a skirmish. No, and it's always about the same thing. I'll tell you what, this person's not used to not having their way. It's like their feelings are so loud they override everyone else's. Huh. Some of that King of Pentacles, please. That's selfish. It's like, oh, I know what the Chariot is. I know what the Sun is. No, they don't. No, they don't. If they really knew what happiness was, and if they really knew what love was, and compromise, and fairness, and healing, and reciprocity, and saying, I'm sorry, and lower their fucking pride, and say that, yeah, I have work to do too, then yeah, they might actually have an idea of what big love in the Sun is. But their energy is too much my way, energetically, or the highway. And you're like, highway. It's a long highway. It's taken me a long time to exit said highway, but I'm doing it. King of Pentacles, the Hermit. Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles. Whoa, holy smokes. This is great. This is beautiful. Very good. I know it seems that way, doesn't it, honey? There will never come a day when I'm fully healed from this. It's taken forever. It's taken forever for me to abandon this, or it's taken me forever to leave this construct behind. I don't know. I don't know how long it's taken, so it just feels like the day will never come, but it does. It does, where you feel the richness and the fullness of you once more. King of Pentacles twice. You might have some heavy Taurus in your chart, Virgo. It's beautiful. Your healing efforts, your patience, your steadiness, your steadfastness will open you back up again. You're confident, you're glowing. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I have every reason to believe, I feel, since you've shown me the King of Pentacles twice, okay, that this is you, the Empress. You really come back into your own, and that's in that sense of empowerment, self-empowered, okay. You're resourceful, you're glowing, and I feel like there's someone in there with you. I think they represent this energy. I do. Aquarius does not have to be. We also have Aries, Leo, Sag, excuse me. But somebody who wants to be there. Very much so. Very passionate, driven. You're very bright. And they make you feel proud. They make you feel very proud. A healthy kind of pride, not the negative pride. I have nothing to apologize for. I have nothing to learn. I don't know about you, but I'm happy. So don't leave, Pisces. Oh, great. That sounds like an awesome offer. Thank you very much. King of Pentacles, that's gorgeous. You know, it's healthy pride. Knowing that that person's with you. And they bring out the best in you. And it's very glowing. It's very gorgeous. It's very beautiful. I have every reason to believe it's this person whom you identified as the star, which was back here. Possibly the love of your life, but you weren't in the position to find out. The energy is very different compared to this. All right, some of that Two of Swords, please. This is fascinating. Oh, honey, I'm so happy for you. I'm not saying this was overnight. Clearly, it was not overnight. I'm not saying it was easy, but it's a life well earned. It's a lesson well learned, and it's a life well earned. You know, earned and learned. Some of that Two of Swords, please. Some of that Two of Swords. Some of that Two of Swords. Confusion. Confusion, confusion, confusion. Show me that Two of Swords, please. Show me that Two of Swords, please. Show me that Two of Swords. Show me that Two of Swords. Show me that Two of Swords, please. Six of Swords. The Empress. Oh, Ace of Cups. Hey! Yeah, it harkens back to exactly what I was saying. You can't see it from where you are, and you're kind of telling yourself that too in future. I never saw this coming. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's very good. Just I didn't know necessarily what I was doing when I chose to move forward. I just knew that I had to. Something about the dynamic with this person would never change, and you kind of just kept yourself going despite not knowing where it was going to lead to or what it was going to look like. You had to trust yourself, your sense of intuition, be led by the moon, that kind of thing. Sometimes we have to walk alongside the moon, not necessarily the sun, which means that's that dark night of the soul stuff. Sometimes we have to walk by the light of the moon in order to understand our scary spots, things that make us uncomfortable. And it's not for everyone. It's not. So I think, I have a reason to believe, Pisces, you didn't know exactly when you kept insisting upon that Six of Swords. I got to keep moving forward. I got to keep moving forward. Whatever this is, the dynamic has played out, and it's not going to change. It's a serious problem when you connect with somebody who doesn't recognize they have things to work out like everybody does. There's no such thing as the perfect human, and if there was, like I was telling Scorpio once, I'd slap him. There's no such thing, because it's a lie. It's a lie. We all have work to do, and the fact that this person keeps point blank refusing to admit that they have shit to do, that means their big old chariot might be fast and strong, but it has nowhere to go. It might mean their sun is bright and shiny, but it has nowhere to shine, not with you. Why? Because they keep cutting corners. I have nothing to improve. And that dynamic was only going to play out so long, so you kept rejecting it. It took a long time, but firmly and gently you continued to leave this behind. You didn't know where it was going to go. It goes back into you, as all things must do. I saw your Empress opening up over here, getting back into that place of empowerment. I see you over here, deeply satisfied that you are connecting with that person whom we could not explore in your opening. They were back there in the I don't know, and they're going to have to stay that way. And then really look at that. Look at that. You remember how you started back here? The Empress to the Page of Cups, trying to keep your heart open as you restructure yourself, and there's your heart blasted wide open at the end. And it all comes back from that confirmation of it. I didn't know exactly what I was doing or why. I just knew that I had to move on from it. Whatever that is, it wasn't right for me. And look how that pays off, yeah? Well done. Very good. Very good. Like I told you last time, sometimes you just gotta keep swimming, even if you don't know where the hell you're swimming, you know? I'm very curious about this person whom you feel, energetically speaking, that they could be the love of your life. One that you had to relinquish, and they will be reintroduced into your timeline sometime in the future. And oh my, you're thriving, and it feels very good. I like to know when that star actually opened, you feel so confident and beautiful and glowing. And someone here radiates by your side as a place of pride, as a person who is very driven. They represent desire, hope, quality, love, care. When does the Fool open, please? When does the Fool open? When does the Fool open, please? When does the Fool open, please? I wasn't expecting to see this for you today. I really wasn't. So that was a very happy surprise, yeah? Some of you are, by the way, this reading altogether is future-oriented. Many of you have no idea what I'm talking about yet. Many of you have no idea what I'm talking about yet. This is very future-oriented. I told you it was slow. You've been slowly exiting this painful energy for a long time. You know what's interesting? You associate the abandonment in this context with non-improvement. Like somebody gave up on the goals of this a long time ago. Somebody gave up production on this relationship a long time ago. And that is how you associate them with abandonment. Not that necessarily you left them or they left you, but the accusation here is that somebody left the contributed efforts of this relationship a long time ago. And that's the real abandonment. They don't put work into it. So this could be something that you've been with for years or a couple of months, I don't know. But you associate it with, they left a long time ago. You know, they say they have big feelings for me, but they don't construct a life with me that says productive or that they're interested. You lost your inspiration for it, as they did. Anyway, I apologize for some of you. Yeah, this whole thing is future-oriented. You don't know that you're leaving. You can't see it yet. But your spirit, your soul has been in the process for some time. And it's a matter of time before the 3D, I believe, matches the spiritual energy. Oh, right here. Oh, look at that, right on the split. Ace of Cups and the stars. There it is again. Oh. Aquarius season might be important. But we're in that now. I don't see this happening now. No. Can I say more about the Fool, please? And obviously when I asked the Fool, I was given this for some of you, and not until obviously the Six of Swords is complete. And I see you in your boat multiple times because this person is not ready to let you go. They justify their actions and their feelings without any real concept as to healing, what healing really looks like, compromise. This is how you make me feel. Great. But that's not how you make me feel. Did you ever think about that, bruh? Sis? It works both ways. I'm glad I make you feel that way. Did you ever stop and think about how you make me feel? How you affect me, or how you don't affect me? What you're putting into me, what you're putting into us? Did you ever think I wasn't watching that, or seeing that, or experiencing that? No way, say it ain't so. A relationship with two people, it's not just about what the other person wants. What? What a mind-blowing concept. I know. You're gonna be so terribly one-sided. 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, you have an idea of who this is. They represent independence, I believe. You've defended your position regarding this 7 of Cups. You weren't able to attract this person or really deep dive with them. You seem to know who they are to some extent. For some of you, July will be important. Others of you, September. Regarding this energy, the full opening up, you defended your position. I see that. It makes sense to me. But yes, July might be terribly important. Pages, Ace of Pentacles. It's something that we're growing into. This is a concept we're growing into. Okay. About offer, longevity, strength of will, and conviction. What we actually have to offer versus what it is we get. Not just the material world, and we mean the emotional world too. Consideration, value. We're growing into that knowledge. We're still learning it. We're talking about worth structure concepts. For some of you, the Ace of Pentacles represents the construct of a full year. And I told you this is a long, drawn-out process. But you're not blocking it either. I could just as easily have seen you do that. I'm not ready to move on. I don't know what to do. I insist upon confusion. You could have done that too. Yeah. Someone is falsely dependent. I'm sorry, falsely codependent. They say that they love, but really they're just afraid to let go. Of course, as we know, that's not real love. Guess who I think it is? As we know, this kind of thing is not real love. We can need somebody in that space of I'm terrified to be alone, you know, but that doesn't necessarily mean they love you. That's false. That's falseness. It's codependency. Someone's not listening to their heart space. They're listening to their fears. If they really listened to the heart, they would see there actually isn't much in it that feels right, but rather cling to you out of a sense of codependency and what it is that they're actually afraid to feel. This person is terrified to feel what they really feel, and that is that they're clingy, weak, emotionally insecure, terrified to be on their own. So I know they talk a good game of, I love you, and I want to feel the sun with you, Pisces. Why can't you just fucking get on board with that? I know what's up. You follow my lead. That's all this is talking. That's what that is. Okay. When somebody has to put on that much of a bravado and insist they have no work to do, that I told you it's the opposite. They got a lot of work to do. And none of it is really your business. They want to make it your business. But it's really just a place of fear. Emotional insecurity. They're terrified to feel pain. They're terrified to feel alone. They're terrified to feel separated, so they cling to you. And so you have to stay, you have to stay. Oh, do you? No. The answer is no. That's why the love feels false to you. And you're correct. Like I said, some of you don't even know that you're leaving yet. Okay. Anyway, Capricorn season might be important. That would be the full calendar year. I have the Earth here. Capricorn season, Virgo season might be important for some of you, a full calendar year. And for some of you, July, when it comes to this energy, might be important. I can't quite zero in on that. But it's coming up that way. Be patient with yourself. Just know that your instinct as well as your intuition are correct. They're both on point. Even if, again, you couldn't... I told you, honey, the repeating here. Many of you don't even know that you're doing this yet. Two of Swords to Six of Swords. The repetition is real. And I promise you, when we get to that future orientation and you look back on it saying, I didn't know where the hell I was going, I just know I had to move on, it's going to mind blow you how much progress you've made. But many of you haven't even begun this process yet. Isn't that interesting to see the reflection? It's so interesting to see that. It's so interesting. Anything else, please? No, let's switch over. Let's do some advice, please. Any advice, please, for Pisces? Advice, please, for Pisces? Advice. Advice, please, for Pisces? Show me that advice. There's something about that, isn't there? You willing to deep dive to do the work, and then someone shows you repeatedly that they're not willing to do the same, but then they say, I have big feelings, so what does it matter? Quite a bit. Just know if somebody refuses to learn how they hurt themselves and hurt other people, that's a damn good indicator they're just going to keep doing it. Somebody who wants to change proves it. Someone who does not want to change fails to prove it repeatedly. That's one scratched up record, you know what I'm saying? Advice, please. Four of Swords, Page of Cups. Rest on your heart, you. Rest on your heart. Reflect. Reflect upon your own strength of will, independence, and that your own experience is that you're telling me I don't have that same level of emotional inconsistency, fear, and entanglement that that person does. I'm actually, if I'm looking at myself, this is you looking at yourself. Four of Swords. When I go quiet, when I have a private time, when I have my downtime, my thoughts, I actually remember being quite comfortable on my own. I was never like that. I was always able to be independent, and you should be. I know and have met, and I'm sure you have too, way too many people who jump in and out of relationships because, God forbid, they have 5 minutes where they're on their own. That is someone who is emotionally insecure. Absolutely. Mentally insecure, psychologically insecure, emotionally insecure, physically insecure. People need to learn to be on their own. Else, how the hell are you going to make it in this world if you don't know how to stand on your own 2 feet? And you're telling me, Christina, upon reflection, I was always comfortable being me. And they keep telling me this is how it has to be? No. I know I'm capable. I know I'm experienced. I've never had an issue with that. I've never had an issue being on my own. Nor should you. Spirit's asking you to reflect upon that. Four of Swords. Their fear of being alone is not yours. You need to remember that. So when they say you can't leave, you can actually be like, well, actually I can. And you don't give me too much reason to stay. Not that I find it attractive anymore or that I want to put any more work into. You don't change. Therefore, we don't change. But that doesn't apply to me. Right? Very good. Yeah, that's you signing off on that. I was told to go one more. There you are, signing off on that. There's going to be some revelations for you around your birthday season, which is coming up. It's right after Aquarius, right? You're going to have some revelations about this relatively soon, once we go into Pisces season. You're going to have some downtime for you. And for those of you where this has just begun, you're going to start seeing things more clearly. I want you to take that time to reflect. The speed of this is interesting. It has that sense of it's a long time coming, but the exit's not fast. And I have to insist, for some of you, you don't even know you're headed in this direction yet. The timelines for each of you is a little different. Some of you are on the verge of completing this process and reconnecting with your star, the person who represents the love you had to pass up on, the ideal love. For others of you, are right smack here in the middle. Your energy is trying to work up, the spirit specifically. Your spirit is trying to work up more and more on taking an exit from this, a clean one. Painful, but clean exit. They're struggling with that, especially as you continue to explore your sense of independence and the freedom that is natural to you. And for others of you, you're all the way back here. And this has just recently occurred, where you consciously and willfully knew a cup existed, probably, possibly even an ideal love, a true love, one that you deeply desired. but you knew you had to pass up on it. For some of you, you're all the way back here, square one. Some of you are on square zero. Back here. It just depends. I see you leaving multiple times. But it's more like once you got in the boat, you got to stay in it and continue on. And that can be quite the process to willfully stay in that boat, especially when somebody's telling you to get out the damn boat and you come out here and participate with me. You give me validation. All that shit. Oh yeah. For some of you, that's the absolute truth. Oh my, that's crazy today. Oh, humidity's crazy. It's so high right now. It's so high right now. Every time the humidity is way high in Texas, my hair goes poof. Every freaking time. I think that's enough. I don't know why I'm still shuffling. Let's put just one more for fun. Ah, there it is. Yeah, the Fool. And in that time, in that space, when you're ready, you will take off in that direction to your beloved star. The one that was passed up. Willfully. Yeah, and I know it hurts you to do that. For many of you, you made that conscious decision to kind of keep yourself isolated from that person because we didn't want to cause third-party issues, or it would cause too much pain, or it would cause them too much pain. They don't know whoever that Queen of Wands is that I saw down here, the one that makes you glow up in future. They don't really seem to know how much you were affected by that decision. That it hurt you a great deal, but they may not have necessarily known that, especially since you had an ongoing situation. I understand. Okay, that's enough. All right, honey. Let's see, what else? There's something in here. I'm not particularly interested, but there's something in here. Kipper is not always typically good news. It's usually like, well, here's some serious shit. This is 35. For some of you, 35 might be a terribly important number, the inverse of that, which is being 53. For some of you, you started your pathway. I told you this was long, and many of you are at different points on that pathway. Back here from the very, very beginning, okay? Foreground to the background, all right? So for some of you, 35 is a power number. For others of you, 53. This pathway for some of you started at 35, and for others of you, it started at 53. It's just been so long, you can't see it for what it is. That's interesting. That is interesting. The main male, the family room, 1 as well as 21. Some of you are the main guy. And you feel it as the main guy. That's that masculine energy. You don't have to be a man. You can obviously be a female and identify the same way. And it's saying, I'm the main person and I'm responsible for the family room. In other words, I'm responsible for the home, family, hearth, and home. And it's that sense of obligation and responsibility as the main figure who kind of keeps the family unit together that says that's exactly my job. And that's one of the reasons why we've been on this pathway. It's taken so long to walk this path of understanding. It's like, I'm always the one supplying the energy for that so-called family unit. I'm the one that's always responsible for keeping it together. It is my concern. That is my direct concern. And now we're starting to wonder, do I have a happy family unit? Do I have a happy family home that supports me? And that's been our concern for some time. Especially since I'm seeing what looks like the aging process here between the main guy and someone who's a little bit older. So in other words, that tells me it's not about age, it's about how much time has passed. Okay. Okay, very good. For some of you, 33 is a power number. I don't know why I'm supposed to say that, but I'm supposed to say that. There you go. 27, unexpected income. For some of you, there might be something unexpected in the general sense around the 27th of what month I could not say. And for others of you, you've just started. Okay, for some of you, by the way, P.S., this is simply confirmation. If you are in this reading, you have what looks like new opportunities that you have just started making good on, a new occupation, a new source of income. Okay, and we've been working towards that, and that's another thing that's been pulling us in different directions. That's enough. I'm kind of curious here about this kind of lost love. Not lost love. They're not lost. They're not lost. They weren't explored. But you felt they could be the love of your life. You weren't in a position to find out. And it actually cost you a lot of pain. I saw you not push them away, but keep yourself distant from them. And there's kind of a difference there. What's in here, please, for Pisces? I bury myself in work to forget to. I bury myself in work to forget you. I hid who I really am from you. The scents and blinking lights are me. Oh. You didn't tell that person what they potentially meant to you. You didn't. I saw you not push them away, but I saw you keep yourself distant, and it hurts you. That's the kind of, take these with some latitude. I hid who I really am from you, and I bury myself in work to forget you. Now, this one's interesting. The sense and that's not you. I think that's the person, your big love, your mysterious love, somewhere in there. Again, unexplored. You actively chose that, and I understand why. But this person's telling you the sense and the blinking lights are me. They send signals sometimes. I don't know if they mean to. But those little things that, what just happened? Sometimes a smell comes to you, a thought comes to you unbidden. Things happen. Taps, whistles, bells, knocks. Little occurrences, little coincidences that are not coincidence. Seeing something and it automatically reminds you of them. I replay our conversations over and over. I care too much about others' opinions. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I care too much about other people's opinions. You know, what would I look like if I went towards this and I still have this going on? And, you know, perhaps that person is just so terribly different from you, but you two match energetically, spiritually, and on the love level. Who knows? You two did have conversations, but not the kind where you went deep with them. You still kept yourself at a distance. They influenced you a great deal. I don't think they know that, and I don't think you allowed yourself to tell them that. Okay, alright, that's enough. Okay, the next round of readings will be the Celtic Cross. Again, I'd like to see emphasis more on the self as opposed to outside relationships, but the readings are what they are. I mean, tarot is not Whataburger. You don't have it your way. But I did, in many respects, see you in your process today. It was very Piscean. And it's not done. You are not done exploring you and what it is that you can do. You're not done exploring what you've been experiencing and how you are exiting it and understanding that you're exiting it. And that when you do, it opens you up into where it is you need to be. Beautifully so. Magnificently slow, but it's so slow. I don't think you can see it for what it is. It's not angry. It's not mad. It's not a giant fuck you to the other person. The other person's energy is aggressive. In that respect, if I feel what I feel and I expect you to make good on those feelings, it comes out of fear, emotional insecurity, fear of being left alone, fear of being on their own. They can't have that. They talk a big game, but it's a lot of blustering, honey. It's a lot of blustering, like blustering winds. It can hit you very sharply and very commandingly. And it is a kind of force in and of itself, but again, it's like nobody likes the blustering winds, though. They want nice, calm, reciprocated, healthy, healing love energy. Not, these are the force of my emotions, I expect you to participate in them. What is that? Anyway, I'm sorry. So anyway, like I said, I did see your process today, one that you were working through, and it has taken time. But I promise you, when you get to where you need to be, you are thus rewarded by the universe. That's typically how it works. It's quite lovely. And someone is in here really lending to your sense of self. Especially you have that masculine energy where it's like, this is my concern, this is my household, this is my responsibility. They add to it, not take away from it. Okay, they really bring out your A game, whoever that is. Okay. All right, honey, put it in the comments as you see fit. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Take care. Be well.